It's in the same zip code.
Yeah, one of yours.
Oh, now, can you hear me now?
Yeah, can.
Yes?
Yes.
Put your thumbs up if you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I can't hear you.
Hmm.
Your audio is live.
I don't know why I can't hear you. Because are you on mute? Anybody check to see if you're on mute?
You hear us now?
No.
I should be hearing you. Let's double check on my side.
Testing, testing, testing. Should be broadcasting.
I can't see anything wrong on my side.
You're still not able to hear us?
Let me try. You got any tech people there?
I wonder if it's his speakers.
You think his volume is down?
Try this one. Can you hear us now, Paul?
No,
I don't think it's the volume.
Can you hear us
I
now?
just used this setup last week and it worked fine. Is Fran there? Oh, there you are. Sorry. Let me try you on the phone.
Talk about modern technology. He's got a
Record player right there.
record player right there.
Okay, Paul.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know why I can't hear you. But maybe we could do it this way with the phone.
That's fine. As long as you can hear us through the phone, we can hear you through the TV.
Yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear you on the phone.
All right.
Sorry about that.
Will call the meeting to order?
Yes, I'll call the meeting of the Nantucket Cemetery Commission for September 12th. I declare we have a quorum present. And we can begin.
Well,
Do you want to introduce it?
I would like to introduce, this is Paul Sanderson, who is our videographer for our documentary video about the historic colored cemetery. And Paul, this is Charles Palachi.
Hi, Charles.
How are you?
Good. Nice to meet you finally.
Yes.
And this is our chair, Alan Reinhardt.
Hi, Alan. How are you? Nice to meet you.
This is our clerk, Lee Saperstein.
Hi, Lee.
Hi, Paul.
Nice to meet you.
This is our stone expert, Scott.
You got to have those for cemetery.
He knows about memorials, everything there is to know.
Excellent. Nice to
Paul,
meet you.
Paul, I'm taking notes. Fran has called you a videographer. If you want any other identifier, like the name of your company or anything like that, let me know. Otherwise, you'll be the videographer.
Well, my company's called Our Town Films, OURTOWN Films. Our Town Films. So you can refer to that.
Our town films.
Oh, Our Town Films.
That's my company. It kind of fits.
Yeah, now our town starts with a narrator.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll do that.
So Paul, I asked Charlie if he knows the contact at NCTV, and he doesn't.
Okay, I'll give her a call, Lisa Getter. I'll give her a call, introduce myself and tell her what we're doing.
Okay.
And ask for permission to use the studio there. The reason the studio is ideal is because, first of all, it's quiet, and quiet is very important for these type of videotaping of people talking. The second thing is I would like to have a very limited space that they're in, and no big background, just going to be black behind them. So it just intensify a beautiful light on the person themselves. So a studio is ideal to create that environment. So if we can't do it there, we could also try possibly ask the high school to do it on their stage, but let's hope we don't have to go there.
That's gonna be very involved for the next 4 days.
Oh, we're not talking about the next 4 days. We're talking about November.
Okay,
Yeah, no, we have time to plan all this. It's going to be fairly complex because there's a lot of people involved.
And I've been in touch with them to give them an idea that we'll be doing it in the studio, and it will be after Barbara is back.
Right, yeah. We just need to figure a time slot, how much time to give each person before the next one comes in. Sort of like the doctor's office.
I'll think about that. I'll actually take the script and read it to get some sense for each person, how long that person's segment will take.
Right, and we should have 2 or 3 reads of it, probably 2 or 3 takes.
Let's hope we can do it very smoothly and not have to have more than that.
Okay.
My contact with HCTV is Charles Douglas, but
I think he's just the man behind the camera. There's a Frank somebody, and I'm trying to remember the woman's name because she's recently married.
But would it be Lisa?
Lisa Getter is the executive director.
Yes,
So that's the person I was going to call.
yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
She's from Darlington.
Oh, really?
And she asked me, did I know Darlington? And I asked her if she knew Stevenson's Rocket.
Okay, so.
She did.
Yeah.
Oh, the one other thing, Paul and his assistant are coming here for the 23rd and 24th. And I'll meet up with them and we will look at the neighborhood, look at the cemetery
23rd, 24th of this month.
And we're going to meet with Niles Parker to talk about the visuals that we're going to request from the Nantucket Historical Association. Niles has already assured me that we have free usage of everything we want from them.
They were very helpful when I put together my talk on the railroad, where I used 50 or 60 of their photographs.
So
That's great resource.
I think we also have some other sources of visuals that you might find interesting. So we shouldn't take up more of your time than necessary. Does anybody have anything to ask or tell Paul?
We're looking forward
to.
Anything new on the windmill?
What about the windmill?
Anything new about the blades?
It's under restoration, but we'll talk with Niles about when it will be put back together. He said,
It's gonna be a while.
well, Paul, this is what I understand at the moment. They need to finish what they're doing before the weather gets wintry. They may possibly for next summer put up some lighter weight vanes while they're working on the heavier ones to put back the following year. But I asked Niles if it would be possible to get vanes on the windmill in May rather than waiting until June. And we'll just have to have a discussion with him on the 23rd.
I was speaking with the NHA manager of properties, who's Edwin Rudd. And Edwin says it's going to be quite a task because they're going to be lifting the cap off of the windmill to get to the machinery that's under it. It's all wooden, and it's had a fair amount of wear, which is why it hasn't run for the last year or so. So they want to replace a lot of the things under the cap, big gear wheels and so forth.
But for our purposes, what we want is to see the exterior. For our purposes, what's going on under the cap is.
No, the cap's going to come off and go on the ground.
I know, and then it's going to go back up. But another possibility, if by any chance it's not going to be looking like itself within our time frame, the other possibility is talking to Niles Parker about drone footage that they already have of it.
I'm sure they will.
Which, my only question there is, do you have drone footage of it that shows the cemetery with respect to where the mill is? Because that's the whole point of having a shot that locates the cemetery. Perhaps they have it, but it would be.
Well, the only reason why they might not, which is a little stumbling block, but I think we can overcome, is because of the helipad for the hospital. It's a no-fly zone for drones.
Yes.
And any modern drone, it has a GPS built in to know where it is at any time, and it has software that keeps it from flying in no-fly zones. So in fact, my drone guy, who's actually my nephew, and very talented, he was up there last week and he tried it. That's why I know about this. He tried to fly just as a test. So we have to get permission. But I think it's going to be possible. I don't think it's going to be a problem. But just so you know, that may keep them from having their own drone shots.
I think a lot of things will probably get resolved when we get together with Niles Parker on the 23rd.
Okay. But it's not going to keep us from editing everything. Everything will be done well before May.
Good.
It should be done over the winter as far as the editing and all the creative stuff, and just need to add the drone shots.
So, the main thing is to get the presenters filmed and also provide you with the visuals that you want to choose from.
Exactly, and we'll need to talk about the music too, but we can do that later.
Oh, well, we'll do that also when you're here. I've invited Molly and her son Isaiah to come over to my house that Monday evening. She has a very full teaching schedule on Monday and Tuesday, but she said after supper she could come over to the house.
Okay, terrific. I look forward to talking about it.
Great.
Excellent.
So I think we can say thank you very much, and
Okay. Okay, if anybody, you have my contact information. If anybody at any time has questions or problems or anything, you want to contact me, please feel free to call me or email me anytime.
And the email is
Paul, Paul, at ourtownfilms.com.
and Our Town Films has no spaces or punctuation.
It's 3 words. Our Town Films.
I understand, but when you write the address, there's
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, no,
no dots.
I'm sorry. Yes, you're correct.
Okay, thank you, Paul.
Okay, thank you guys. Look forward to working with you.
Thank
you. Nice to meet you.
Bye.
Well, obviously something was being picked up. That's what caused the feedback.
Who knows?
That was great.
Yes, Lisa Getter. And she's English, and that's a reference to her hometown.
Okay, so, we just had public comment,
Commissioner's
Yeah, I think-
comment,
I think it was a commissioner's comment.
commissioners.
because we talked yesterday. The historic cemetery sign is back on Pulpus Road. It looks lovely.
It does, yeah.
But the one on Prospect Street still looks bad. And at a certain point when we're filming, it can't look like that, or people will say that the town is neglecting the cemetery. So please paint that sign.
If I recall an earlier meeting, Charlie, you said it was on the list.
Yeah, it's on Riz.
Tell them to move it up towards the top.
Great. Okay,
Otherwise, I'll get out there with Windex and wipe it off.
I think
A lot
it's,
of, a lot
I
of
think
that's
it's more
road
than
dirt.
that.
I think the paint itself is ruining. Okay, so that was my comment.
Okay,
Other commissioner comments? Approval of minutes from our August 14th meeting, those were circulated. Any errors, omissions, corrections?
I dutifully read it when we sent it out, and I saw nothing that needs to
Yeah.
be. So I
Frank,
move that they be accepted as.
got it.
Good. All in favor?
Alan, I'm gonna suggest that we do it by roll call,
Oh,
and then we can say we did a roll call,
Okay.
because we're being recorded.
By roll call, Fran?
Aye.
Scotty?
Aye.
Aye, and chair votes aye. Approval of lot sales since the last meeting. We haven't sold any, although I've met with, three different people, who are interested in purchasing lots. I showed them what we've done, I did a little history of the cemetery and so on. So nobody has, signed the paper yet, but, there's definitely interest, so. The way that I handle this is that when I meet them out at the cemetery, I give them the background, I show them, what's available as far as the lots and so on. And then I ask them, to pick out a lot, where they want, all that sort of thing. And once they've done that, I give them the form, the lot application form. And it's at that point that when they sign the lot application form. So that's sort of the last step. Usually what happens is they say, okay, well, I want to think about it, or I want to check with my kids, or whatever.
And then we wait until it comes.
Yeah, and then, but they have my phone number, so I tell them, if you have any questions, give me a call, and we'll get you in there. So anyway, no additional sales since.
Any of the people who chatted with you, more of the Wisconsin Eldridges besides Tanya and Jeremy?
I think they're pretty much all over the island. One was the guy who was on MSNBC for years.
Well, I asked because Amy Eldridge said to me that Wisconsin Eldridges,
Mhm.
following Tanya's and Jeremy's lead,
Right.
were interested in perhaps 2 more plots, but they haven't been in touch with you
They
yet.
haven't been in
Well,
touch
I'll
with
be
me.
seeing them this weekend and I will encourage them.
Okay. Good. All right, I've been telling people too, I've been showing them where the lots that Scotty and I did lay out. And explained that there'll be other ones near the road that we'll be laying out eventually, but they all seem to want to be, toward the woods or.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so anyway.
We're gonna have to Photoshop the cemetery so they can see what it looks like after the brush and trees have been cleared.
Yeah.
Well,
It may
that's,
come as a surprise.
well, I'm not, we'll discuss that, what we're gonna do with that, once we get.
When we get there.
Yeah, when we get it all taken care of. The other thing, of course, we do need is a new map of, with the lots and so on. So I think, Charles working on that
Yeah.
with,
Phyllis.
yeah,
Bring the original one.
So, and this is a pretty key thing, because this is how I keep track of what we have available. And
Do you, is there someone else that has that same information?
yeah, it's in the computer here, so
So if you lost that,
yeah,
Hi there.
the winds took it away, there will be.
Yeah, I'm in the cemetery commission meeting. I'll call you as soon as we're done. Okay, I'll call you soon. All right, bye.
yeah, Takara can pull it up on the computer.
Right.
That's how, so all of the data that's on the map here is on the computer, so. As
Ellen, I apologize, but Priscilla has just visited a cardiologist in Hyannis, and she was gonna give me a report. I'll call her back. It was a well.
So, no problem at all. So,
Under Pulpit Cemetery update, besides the lot to be, is there any other?
no, I haven't heard back from Tracy as far as what's going on there. The last I heard, though, is that she was in contact with their attorney. And so I'm not sure, she didn't have any results for me.
Okay.
And so we've got
Prepping for special town meeting.
yes, yeah, I know she's been busy with special town meeting. I found when I chatted with her, she told me how many projects she's working for the town. She's got a whole bunch of different things that she's working on. So I told her that Opus is, and
We need to hire a lobbyist.
well, yeah, I know. And I also told her about Newtown. I said, Newtown, is the one we really need to get squared away.
Since that's an agenda item, I was gonna share my conversation with Tracy, but I'll do that when we get to.
Okay. All right. All right, so that brings us to the monument restoration
It's going to begin
project.
soon.
And
Yep.
we are,
It's in the system.
yeah,
Newtown is. It's in the review process with finance. It's in their line to be worked through. So they're just, it should be pretty easy because we've done this a few times now. So that's in the process there. The family wires have been removed from
really.
Wow.
cemetery, New North Cemetery,
Cool.
and in Old North. And
Yeah.
as of today, this morning I passed, and they were working through Newtown.
Oh, really?
They gave me a quote, and I gave them the green light
Yeah.
for it because it fit within our
So the steel piping is,
being removed.
Yeah.
Is Old North, New North, and Historic are done,
mhm.
and I saw them today in Newtown. They did call me up. They are leaving the gates.
Yes.
So I've done a few. They did ask me if the gate should stay. I said yes. It was just the pipes will removed.
Nice,
So.
nice to see action.
Old North, New North, and
Historic colored
HCC are done.
are done, and they were in Newtown today.
Thank you.
And again, the cemeteries are in terrific shape. I mean, it's amazing. I go into, well, what is this? Oh, okay, so I didn't get it on the agenda. I'll bring it up under later. Okay, anything else on the monument restoration project? That's great,
Yeah, but Alan, my shoulder hurts from patting myself in the back so hard.
I do
Well-
have the guys, landscape company is going to give me a price to do some brush cutting at Newtown. They're good. They just come over and look at it, specifically on the eastern and south fence lines.
Yeah.
There's some tree overgrowth just to push things back behind the fence line.
Yeah.
Just to, kind of define up the eastern and south.
Charlie, which boundaries?
The east and south boundaries of Newtown.
Yeah, it's complicated because it's actually on the
Yeah.
street.
I'm generic, just generic,
Well, good, that's, once we get.
or sorry, west, be the west and south boundaries. I'm looking at it backwards in my head.
So west would be,
Towards the two boundaries towards the school. The boundary of the field and then the boundary where the buses park.
oh, okay.
Because the other north fence line is the road. And the east would be your by the auto body, which we
Okay.
don't have. We'll wait to get into there until we have that all
Exactly.
put back together.
Exactly.
So clean up what we can.
I've written down school and good.
Okay,
Like
once we get the monument restoration project completed, I'd like to get the newspapers involved to come around and do a little background for that.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, that brings us to Newtown. I'll let you do that.
Tell us.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna let Alan, if you've got any news, but Tracy called me, so I can report on this, because it's not secondhand. There is a push by the school housing trust. I think that's the name of the group,
Oh, yes.
who own residences along Allen's Way or Calpine Lane. And they want to build 3 more. Let me just make a note. Tracy rehousing, and then I'll try and reconstruct this in my new notes. They want to build 3 more, which will be where the buses go, or where the buses are. And the buses will be moved to a space that will be carved out of the playing field. Because the playing field apparently is to be maintenance, redone, something.
So instead of having buses, we're going to have buildings.
And she's well aware that buildings have to respect a zoning side lot and back lot boundaries, so that the shrubbery that was planted, she expects to remain.
Mhm.
The key part was the legality of the space needs to be confirmed by the town. And so she's told the town, if you want these houses, you've got to regularize the ownership of Newtown Cemetery.
Nice.
Wonderful.
Nothing like
Wow.
Wow.
pressure to.
I didn't do it.
I know.
It's the how,
You,
it's the need for housing teachers.
Yeah,
things just work out though.
well, that's the thing, but it's your communication with Tracy
Seriously.
that's gotten Tracy,
You've done all the background and stuff.
making her aware of our situation, so that's great.
Plus that'll get some kind of a priority.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I'm writing down school housing, I think it's the trust. But I can look that up, or I can ask her.
well, those are the houses as you come in from the other side,
Right.
those are the ones on the left
Because
there.
there's gonna come a time they're gonna say, okay, so who knows about this thing? And they're gonna come and see you.
Yeah. Yes, okay. Anything else on Newtown? No. All right, next item is the historic
Covered that.
Yeah.
video, we've covered that. So that will be coming up the end of this month. Is it coming this month? or-
Paul and his assistant are coming for the 23rd and 24th. And then we're going to try to get 2 full days of studio space at NCTV in November after Barbara and Mark are back.
Good.
And then the plan is for all these presenters who I've been in touch with and told them the plan, to work with Barbara and Mark, each one individually for a little while, so that when they go into the studio, they've rehearsed. So that we hope we won't have too many extra takes.
Yeah.
So I'm working on all that. And I did get a good response from the presenters that they're not put off by the delay. And in fact, a couple of them are happy that we're going to do it in a studio instead of outdoors in the cemetery, which is our original plan. So I think we're really
Good.
underway.
Well, that's interesting.
It's a very comfortable space to work in the studio
Yes.
over there. So, and I would suggest bringing people in small groups instead of trying to stage one person. You know, if you bring in 3 or 4 people together
So
in a block of time, if you have people that know, you know, if you've got families, or the friendly faces in the room outside of just, you know,
Yeah.
a person in a camera.
So the studio's in the property on Bayberry Court, Dave Street?
Yeah, in the basement.
Okay.
I would like to go over there and see it
Yeah,
sometime.
we did
Well, maybe,
media training there.
maybe when Paul is here on the 23rd, we could arrange a visit.
Yeah, it's a very dark, it's a very black room.
Yeah.
These the very special black paint that everything is covered in.
Yeah.
And there's a green screen that they can take down depending on what you want behind them, but it's in.
So under other business, I've got 2 items. One has been very funny to watch. For a long time, there was a white plastic chair that would appear in different places in the Quaker cemetery. That's the chair. And I was a little annoyed by it, but now, the other day, there was a chair and a table and a
Someone's
vase
sitting
with a
with you.
bouquet of flowers. And I thought, oh my goodness. But then when, the most recent time when I'm going by,
You said
it's all
quick.
the Quaker cemetery. The last time I went
Oh, I
by,
saw that.
it's all
gone.
disappeared.
Oh, now you're sad.
Well, no, but I mean, I wonder if we'll come back. I wonder who's doing this.
It would bounce around different locations. The last time I saw it with the table and the base, it was like one of the higher hills in the middle. It was kind of on the back border. And then it appeared one day on like right in the center on one of the hilltops with a table,
Like a
chair.
white plastic
And a,
chair.
yeah.
We need a game camera.
No, I saw the same thing. Went by the cemetery, I had to do a double take and I pulled over.
And then
And
put a table in it.
I assumed it was kids that were,
Someone's having.
I don't know, the table with the vase and the flowers doesn't.
yeah.
I don't think it's kids.
I was thinking.
Neighbor?
That maybe if this keeps up, maybe we might write a note. Put it in a Ziploc bag to protect it from rain and take it to the chair saying, who are you?
We still have a Quaker meeting on Nantucket. I could be a member of the meeting.
But anyway, do we currently have a Quaker meeting ongoing? Because I had a question the other day, and all the people that I knew were part of the Nantucket meeting are gone.
I thought I read in the paper that with the restoration of the research library, that the meeting has returned to the meeting.
I used to attend when I was a companion for Jim Carrey.
But that was, all the people from that time.
I know, are gone, exactly.
Well,
But I do look in the paper and I notice,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I saw it, on the iron mirror, the list,
Oh, I'm in the classified ad, they list of.
yeah, they list, where the services for the different.
oh,
So I'm not sure if they are still holding the meetings there, but one of the poems in my book is Quaker Meeting, because I used to attend them.
so I have another item.
Yes.
Nancy Holmes got in touch with me a few days ago. And she said that she had discovered in the town clerk's vault, which must be vast because they keep finding things that nobody knew were there.
It's not that big.
She found a box, and inside the box, there's a leather-bound volume, and inside the leather-bound volume, there are index cards, typed index cards, one for every Nantucket participant in the Civil War. And then there are also pages about what happened to them when they died, where they were interred.
Oh my goodness.
Now, I think this would be really very helpful for Newtown Cemetery because I know visually that there are a lot of Civil War stones there. But this should tell us exactly how many Civil War veterans are in Newtown, and that would be a very good thing to know. Also, there's this mystery about, do we have 4 or do we have 5 Black Civil War vets buried in the colored cemetery? We have 4 with the military headstones that tell, you know, whether in the Union Navy or the Union Army and regiment. But Frank Morrow was a teacher here. He and Barbara White did one of those hidden history books, and it was in history of Nantucket. Frank believed that a man named John Swain, well, apparently the last name carved on the monument on Main Street says John Swain. Well, there were a couple of John Swains on Nantucket who died in the time frame of the Civil War. Frank was pretty sure that the John Swain, whose name is on the monument, was actually a native Hawaiian born in Lahaina, who had been on Nantucket since 1850 or so. Based on some material that Ed Stackpole had, that claimed that John Swain was one of the Nantucket Black men who served in the war. But his headstone is in the colored cemetery, but there's no military stone. And I looked him up. He died in 1864. He was in his 40s. He didn't die on a battlefield or in a military hospital. He died here on Nantucket of heart disease. So I've been trying to think, how does this happen? How did Ed? And my thought is right now, and maybe Nancy's material will clarify it, that maybe a group of men from Nantucket went to Boston to enlist in the Union Navy, including John Swain, and when they examined him and realized his age and the fact that he had a weak heart, they sent him back home. That would make sense from what Ed Stackpole believed, and it would also, if he didn't actually serve, then he wouldn't have military stone.
Right.
So possibly what Nancy Holmes has just discovered might shed some light on that.
Yeah.
And is she going to share that as well with NHN?
She's very anxious to share it with Barbara and me when Barbara gets back.
Okay,
And, you know, just to see, she showed me a couple of photos of it, but she was on her way to the boat to go off island, so she didn't get the actual thing out to show me. But she said that when Barbara comes back, we'll all sit down and look at it and see how many index cards there are and what they tell us that we may not already know.
Nice.
Yeah.
okay, so these are cards of everybody who was in the war or those who came back. I thought them.
We don't know.
Okay.
At the moment, she just says there are a lot of cards and they're typed, so they're, you know,
20th century.
well after the and she says that then there are records of death and burial.
Okay,
So how many there are, what percentage of the men who went are represented, we'll find out.
okay,
And I'll be happy to report back to you.
interesting project.
Okay, under old, new, or other business, Quay's Asylum, I was out at Quay's Asylum, and the first thing I noticed is that it hadn't been mowed.
Oh,
And the Conservation Foundation has been doing that over the last several years. It started because I didn't mow it. The path to the cemetery has been mowed, but for some reason,
the
whoever,
actual cemetery hasn't.
yeah, the actual cemetery hasn't. So it's gotten to be a little weedy. And
So who checks? You're gonna check with the foundation or is Charlie gonna check with DPW?
well, I haven't had a chance to check with Cormac to see. I was going to talk with one of the guys who actually does the mowing out there. I haven't seen them yet, so I'll check with them and see if there's some issue that they're not going to mow the cemetery. they're just gonna mow the path that goes along there.
I'm guessing, and I'm not writing it down, they may say, well, if the cemetery is town, so the town has to take care of it.
Well, it could be, although, of course, it started because I used to mow the cemetery myself, so. In addition to the path that goes down to.
That could be a correct interpretation, but nonetheless cumbersome. They've already got the equipment doing the path. Why
Yeah,
couldn't
I
they
know.
just go up there?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, so that's why I wanted to get a hold of their
Yeah, that
maintenance.
cemetery has become quite popular.
I know, but I see all sorts of little things on the.
I
monument.
did.
Yeah,
Wow.
the monument that we put up there,
Yeah.
there's people put stones, there, I think I see.
I knew that was an Orthodox Jewish tradition. I don't know how it spread to everybody
It
else.
spread to everybody else.
People like to leave trinkets.
Yeah.
I was here.
Once they hear about the history of the Place Asylum and, all that
It's
sort
there
of
on
thing,
the
and,
stone.
there's a cemetery, it's
Cool.
So that's the other shoulder.
There you go, mate.
Quite a few years ago, before leaving the stones became as common as they are. My Aunt Esther used to hire young men, almost all of them from Yale Drama School for some reason, to wash dishes and peel potatoes in her restaurant. One day I went to Prospect Hill Cemetery and it looked like there was a potato sitting on my aunt's memorial stone. And I said, oh my gosh, one of the boys has brought out a potato.
It's a stone.
And I looked carefully and it was a stone that absolutely resembled a potato. And then I thought again, one of the boys who used to peel potatoes found the
That could well
stone
be.
and said, I'm going to give this to Esther.
That could well be. In terms of the geology of it all, they're tumble stones on the beach. So the wave action rounds them off as they tumble around on the beach.
But this had the right color and it even, I think, had a couple of spots that looked like eyes.
We have one on our patio.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll follow up with the Conservation Foundation and see if I can get them to mow the cemetery up there so we don't have.
Or else explain why they didn't.
Yeah.
Well, it is presumably town property, even though the foundation owns the lot. So, okay, is there anything else to come before the commission this afternoon?
No.
Seeing none, I declare we are at the end of our agenda. The meeting is adjourned.
Okay.
Well, thank you all.
This
Thank
is a
you all.
lovely
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Alan, on